Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, today's video is my brand Q&A. I am so excited to film this video. This brand is like my baby and it has been so long in the making. It is so nearly time now, like everything's on the last little stages, so I'm hoping it won't be too long for you. But I realised, like I've mentioned it, it's been in my bio for like 2 years now, probably more, and yeah, I haven't really spoken much about it in detail, so that's what today's video is for. Quickly, before we get into it, I was going to try so hard to be consistent with YouTube, and I did too, and then I've had another break again. But in my defence, that wasn't entirely my fault. I was going to do a Salzburg vlog, but we never ended up going to Salzburg. Ben got ill as we were about to leave. Like, he came over and he was really ill, and then the next day I got it as well and ended up being COVID, and yeah, we were bedbound, so we didn't end up going to Salzburg, and so that week was just full of being ill. And then yeah, I literally haven't done anything interesting since, so I'm gonna still try and post more on here, but that's why I've had the little break. So I asked on my Instagram story if anybody had got any questions about the brand, and I have screenshotted your answers, so I'll put them up on the screen while I talk about it. So the first question, which is probably a very good place to start, is what is it that you're selling? So I'm going to be selling 2 hoodies and 2 sweatshirts to begin with. This is one of the sweatshirts. This is actually still a sample, so it may vary ever so slightly, but it will basically look like this. This is a dark grey sweatshirt, and there'll be the same design but in like a light beige, and then we've got a different design on hoodies, and they'll be in the same colours though, so a dark grey and a light beige hoodie. The first collection is called the Fierce Soul collection because it's got the writing on it that says kind heart, strong mind, fierce soul. It does also have, right, ignore because you can see the label. Ooh, yeah, so the label's still in it because I don't want to take it off because it's my own label. I'm really proud of it. Yeah, it has got the same on the back, which I love. I wanted this to be like a really uplifting brand with positive messaging all the time without being like overly cheesy, if you get me. I just wanted it to have that sort of cool vibe but still being like really positive, which I found was quite like a difficult sort of balance to try and find, but I love this so much. So I was scrolling through Pinterest quotes to try and find something, but I couldn't find anything that I really liked that fit that sort of vibe, so I ended up sort of just like taking different bits from different things and then making up this one. So it's more original to the brand and it's not like copying from anybody else. I just love the message of that kind heart, strong mind, fierce soul. I just think that's so sort of, yeah, like it's not about looks or anything, it's just about, yeah, you, and I just love it. I don't think I've had a question about sizing. No, I haven't, but I'm going to explain anyway. So I believe the last conversation I had with the manufacturer was that the sizes had to be grouped, which does work because they're so oversized. As far as I remember, because I know this has changed so many times and obviously I'll know before it launches, but I think we've got an extra small to small, small to medium, medium to large, large to extra large, and I think that covers UK sizes 4 to 20. Because I wanted it to cater to more people, yeah, it's just kept changing, but I believe that's what it has ended up as. But going forward for more collections and things, I do want to keep expanding sizes and everything else. I just want this to be a really inclusive brand for everybody, and it's really difficult starting out because with limited funds and your first collection, you never know how things are going to sell, and with a small business it is just difficult. So I'm trying my best, but as the business grows I'm hoping that I'll be able to do more in that sense. Next question is, how long have you been working on this? Oh, let's see. I have been working on this since 2021. So it's been a while. So it's been on my mind for a lot longer than that. It's always sort of been just like a distant dream, didn't think it was going to happen, didn't know what to do. But then I was at uni doing film and television production. No, I wasn't. I was doing television and radio production, and I absolutely loved that industry before when I was in college, but when I got to uni I just fell out of love with it. Obviously I still love doing my filming and things like that, but I fell out of love with the industry. And it was around the time that I was starting social media as well. I started in 2018, 2019, and that's when I sort of found my love for fashion, and since then I always wanted to start my own fashion brand. Like, it was a very early dream, just sort of, yeah, just something I wanted to do but I didn't think I ever would be able to. But then when I finished uni in 2021 I was struggling with like, what do I do next? I've got a degree in TV and radio, but I don't want to go into that industry anymore. So I decided that if I wanted to pursue fashion, which I did, I could either just go off and try on my own, or I decided to get a master's degree in fashion. I applied to a couple of unis to do, yeah, they were different fashion degrees. I got into both actually. I got into one in London, but I went to one in Birmingham so that I could live at home and just commute in. So I went and got my master's degree in fashion promotion. One of the reasons I chose this course was because it said that they'd got sort of alumni who'd started their own fashion brands and they would give advice on things like that. And I just had absolutely no clue where to start. Like, I hadn't studied fashion before then. Like, I wanted to learn more, but when you Googled, everything was really complicated and I couldn't figure out like what my first steps needed to be. And when I would ask people for advice, nobody was wanting to be helpful. Nobody wanted to sort of share how they did it. And so I thought that doing this master's degree would give me basic fashion advice. If I didn't end up starting my own brand, I'd still have a master's degree in fashion and I could go and use that for something else, to work in the fashion industry. But my goal was always to start this brand. I literally, because when we first joined our first class, we had to do a presentation on ourselves, and it was sort of like, what do you hope to gain from the course? And that was what I put on. With a master's degree, you become a master in what you want to become a master in, and so I always tailored mine to starting a business. I absolutely loved doing my master's degree. I got so much out of it, and it was honestly the best decision I ever made. Even though it didn't give me a step-by-step how to start my business, there were people there that could give advice and I learnt more about the industry, and it was just really, really helpful. Sorry, this is a really long-winded story to get around to the point, but my last project with my masters for the dissertation project, I started Blossom. I think that was 2022, but I'd already sort of started in 2021. I was hoping to launch, I think a bit naively, I was hoping to launch later in 2022, 2023. But yeah, so 2022 was when I sort of finalised the name, got like the business registered and everything like that, did all my designs, or started my designs. The main thing that's taken this long was getting funding. I had to apply for grants and loans and things. I ended up getting a loan that has helped me to start. But then once you've got it, you've still got all the processes of working with your manufacturer. I'd already got my manufacturer before and had meetings with her, so everything was sort of ready to go once I'd got the funding. So once we did, we got the ball rolling. This was about August last year, and I was hoping for a pre-Christmas launch, again probably a bit naive. But then, so samples would be sent to me and I didn't approve for quite a long time. There was a lot that I didn't like. I did end up changing my design a couple of times. If you watched my vlog a couple of videos ago, not the St. Lucia one, the one before, I did sort of mention another sample that I was wearing that I didn't like the design of. So it's just been a process of approving everything, getting the funding and going from there. So basically, long story short, 3 years. I don't know why I didn't just say 3 years. Next question, have you designed everything yourself? Yes, I have. It has been several different designs over the process of the 3 years. I've gone through different designs before sending them off to be sampled. I've kept revising and changing what I wanted. This was one of my first designs actually, but I didn't think it was going to be in the first collection. This was originally supposed to be like third collection. But yeah, basically I have designed everything myself. It is something that I didn't have a clue about before. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still no expert in it, but I can visualise what I want and I can sort of create the designs in a way that my manufacturer can understand. In the future I would like to work with a designer and make the designs collaboratively, so I'm still involved and still sort of my ideas, but with somebody who's a complete professional. Because obviously I am just starting out, so I've got a lot more to learn. The next question is, how would you describe the style of items you have planned? I would say very comfy, cozy vibes, neutrals. This is not me trying to like brag or sell items or anything, but they are such good quality. I have sent back so many samples that I didn't like the fit and feel of, but these are thick, inside so soft. They're all like sustainable and recycled materials. There's like different seam details in, and yeah, they're all baggy and comfy and cozy, and I just think they're super cool. What does the name mean? Why did you choose Blossom? So there is actually quite a sentimental reason for why I chose Blossom. Blossom was always my nickname from my dad. He passed away in 2018 and he always called me Blossom, and it was just sort of a way to honour him. Like, I know there are other brands that have Blossom in the name and things, but I just wanted it to be something that was personal to me and meant something. My dad always had the attitude that, and would always tell me that no matter what, everything will work out, everything will be okay. Like, he used to say, like, I remember when I was doing my GCSEs and things, he would say, like, obviously try your hardest, but if it doesn't go how you wanted it to. Don't worry, like things will work out. You don't need to stress yourself out, like I'll always be here for you and no matter what, everything will be okay. When he was gone, that was always something that I wanted to remember going forward and like take with me. And now that I've created Blossom sort of in his honour, in his name, that's the vibe I sort of want to put out. I want it to be positive with those kind of messages, like uplifting, making you feel like everything will be okay. I just want Blossom to feel like a comforting brand, and I just want it to be happy and comforting and uplifting. And yeah, that's all sort of through the name Blossom. I've also always loved blossom trees and everything like that. Like for next year I have actually got planned, like I want to do sort of an actual sort of blossom themed collection with all like pastels and pinks and things, which I think will be really cute. We've always had a cherry blossom tree in my nan's garden. I think I mentioned in a couple of vlogs ago as well. And I used to think fairies lived there as well, and that was like my entire childhood. So yeah, there's another meaning there, but mostly to do with because my dad called me Blossom and sort of the messages that he would always sort of give to me. I also just love what blossom actually means as a word. Like it means to sort of like grow and let me find an actual definition. So it says, when people blossom, they become more attractive, successful or confident, and when good feelings or relationships blossom, they develop and become stronger. Like, I just think it fits with the vibe so well, and it just all seems so perfect, and I just feel like this was always supposed to be called Blossom. Next question, when can we see your lovely designs? This is actually from Ben's mum, but there were a couple of other people asking that as well. That is a good question. I don't have a date yet. Production should be finishing very soon as I'm reading this, and then it's obviously got to be sent to me in bulk. Then we've got shooting, and then we've got photos, filming, marketing and things like that to do. It will be this summer. I'm going to say that with confidence because I want to release it this summer. It was supposed to be, like, I really wanted it to be earlier this year, so that it could be worn sort of through winter going into spring rather than summer. That would have been my least favourite time to launch, but once I've got everything, I'm going to launch it. While the material is thick and cosy, like, let's be real, this is the UK. I would wear this all the time still. I'd wear it with shorts or jeans still, and yeah, this is England. Things should arrive by mid to late May, and then yeah, filming, shooting, marketing, making sure the website and everything is ready to go. So hopefully not too long, which I know is the most annoying thing when people say that, but that is the best I can give you because I don't know myself. This question is, what's the vibe of Blossom? Which I feel like I've sort of already covered, but to sum up, sort of positive, uplifting, like I love the sort of cool girl aesthetic, and it's going to be quite that to begin with, and versatile. But the overall vibe, just to be, yeah, what I said about like with the name meaning, uplifting, happy, comforting, positive. I just want that feeling of the brand, if you get me, because every brand should have a personality, and I really want to get that across with my brand. Next question, is it just you on your team or do you have anyone working with you? So no, it is just me. I've done all the designing and everything myself. Obviously I'm not creating the garments. I've hired a manufacturer, so I don't know if that counts. But as in terms of like day-to-day working, it is just me. I'm going to be relying on my friends and family quite a lot. When it comes to like shooting content, like me and my friend Charlotte, we're going to have some days out and things. My boyfriend said he'll help me package up orders. I think my mum will as well. But as of now, it is just me. But as things progress, I would like to have more people on the team. I think it would make it much less, not less stressful. I don't think it will ever be less stressful. Starting a business is absolutely terrifying and stressful. You are working 24/7, and yeah, I'm sure a lot of people watching have a small business or something, but yeah, doing everything yourself is intense. So it would be nice to have somebody else. Oh wait, that's the next question. The next question is, what are your goals for the brand in the next 5 years? Which I've kind of already said that I want to have a team. I would love to be able to have an office space and hire like amazing people and have a really good team around me and have a really fun sort of working environment, because from now I literally just work from my bedroom. I think my main goal would be for this to become my main source of income. I would love this to be my job forever. And there's like a horrifying statistic that it's 90-something% of new businesses fail. And I am going to do everything I can to not be in that percentage. There's that quote that says, one day I want to honestly say I made it, and I want to make it with Blossom. I would love to be able to travel for different shoots. I would love to be able to do sort of brand trips. But yeah, bottom line, I just want it to be successful and keep growing and doing well. That is my 5-year plan. Is it just this collection or more in the future? Definitely more in the future. Well, I'm saying that as a new business owner, you never know what's going to happen. If you don't make the money back from this collection, then you will struggle to do the next collection, and so on and so on. So it does depend on how the first collection goes, whether I will be able to do more. I am hoping and praying and keeping everything crossed that it will do well, so that I can keep doing it, because I've absolutely just loved it so much. Like, don't get me wrong, it's been so stressful and crazy, but I have loved everything about this process. Even though it's taken however many years, I have just loved it all, and I want to be able to keep doing it. If this collection goes well, if I can make enough money to do another collection, then I absolutely will, without a doubt. I've actually already got collections planned up until next summer, so I've got a year's worth of collections planned. I haven't started the second collection yet because I do need to see how the first collection sells. Fingers, everything crossed that yes, there will be more collections after this one. Will you keep restocking, or is it a limited collection? So as of now, I'm believing that it is going to be a limited collection. I will see what the demand is like, but I think once everything sells out, that'll be it. It'll be sold out. On to the next collection sort of thing. Are you sustainable? Yes. So nothing is ever 100% sustainable. If anything's claiming to be, it's probably lying, because it is very impossible to be 100% sustainable. You can do everything you can with that in mind, which is what I've done. So these are all made out of recycled materials. I've gone for the eco-friendly option in everything. My manufacturer is great. They are very focused on sustainability, but they're also very honest and open. Like they've said, yeah, nothing is ever 100% sustainable, so you can do whatever you can to make the best choices all the way through. I think ethical is the best way to describe it. So I've used an ethical manufacturer who's helped me along the way, making the choices to be the most sustainable I can be. Yeah, everything's made out of recycled materials, and I'm making decisions throughout with that at the forefront. Next question, I've sort of already answered this. Is it neutrals? Yes. Providing more collections go out after, I think most of the winter ones are. And then next year, from Valentine's Day onwards, we've got more colours. There'll be a few reds and pastels introduced then. Is it UK or worldwide shipping? So, I don't know yet. I need to see what the interest is for worldwide shipping. When I first started this, I originally wanted to be able to do free shipping, but I've realised from learning from other businesses that that is an absolute nightmare when you do that, because shipping is one of the things you'd end up spending the most money on. So if people pay for their own shipping, then I don't see why I couldn't do worldwide shipping, but it would obviously cost a lot more. As it stands at the moment, I am not charging anything extra. Obviously I would, for packaging or anything, that will all be included in the price of the garment, but shipping itself, I will just charge what the cheapest shipping method I can find is. I don't see why it couldn't be worldwide, but I know there are logistics with that, so I will see what I can do, but I do sort of need to see if the interest is there worldwide or if it will just be UK. And finally, the last question, which I've sort of already touched on, but I'll sort of sum up. How did you go about starting your own brand? When I first started doing social media and fashion, it was something I was immediately interested in, something I immediately wanted to do. I just thought, I want that to be my life. I want to create my own brand. It was a very far off, distant dream for a while, I should already said. But then yeah, I found people weren't very willing to help and give advice. It seemed to be very much that was all kept to yourself, but I don't see why really. Like, I'd be happy to help anybody else starting, as long as like people know that it's not just something you can do on a whim. Like, if you want to do it properly, it takes up every second of your time. So yeah, I got my master's degree just to learn more about the industry and get some more ideas on what I needed to do first. That is obviously not a necessary step. You don't need to go out and get a master's degree. You don't need any degree to be able to start your own business. I just wanted to do that because I wanted to sort of stay in education. I wanted to learn more. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it was absolute best experience in my life. Like, best decision I ever made was doing that master's degree, but you don't need to do one to start your own brand. While I was doing it, I found so many different manufacturers and contacted the ones that I felt like were most suited to my brand. There are hundreds out there, like different manufacturers do different things, and you can use different manufacturers for different products, different collections. It doesn't have to be like the same manufacturer or anything. So once you've found a manufacturer that you want to work with, then you send your designs over, get sort of quotes. They'll do tech packs for you, or at least mine did. Sometimes you have to get tech packs done separately, but they did the tech packs, got quotes for me for different quantities. I would say when you're contacting manufacturers, find where does a low MOQ, which is minimum order quantity, because if it's your first collection, you don't want excess stock that you've paid for and can't sell, so the lower the quantity the better. Once you approve your samples, I think I approved the third lot, although actually no I didn't, but there was only minor changes, and so I sent it off and got a digital approval after that because it was so minor that I didn't want to have to wait for another sample. Yeah, once you've got that, then it goes into mass production, and which is where I'm at now. It is in mass production. And obviously before all of this, you've got choosing a business name, registering your business, getting funding or a loan, whatever, or if you've got savings, whatever works for you personally. And yeah, social media accounts, websites, setting all that up. It doesn't need to take as long as it's taken me, because that was mostly to do with waiting for funding, which can take a really long time. If you're looking for just funding, just grants and things, that is a lot more difficult, and there's different ways you can do it. So you can do crowdfunding and find investors and things, but it is, especially in today's climate, it is very difficult to do that. But yeah, it doesn't need to take 3 years. I've wanted to do everything to like a super high standard. I haven't wanted to cut any corners. I've wanted to do everything properly so it to be something that I'm really proud of. But it's a hard process, it's a long process, and I'm glad I've done everything how I wanted to, rather than cutting corners. If anybody's got any questions about starting a business, obviously I'm still incredibly new to this, my business hasn't even launched, but I'm happy to give advice where I can with what I've gone through so far. I hope I've answered everything that you wanted to know, and now that you feel that you know more about Blossom, I will keep you updated with launch days and everything like that. I am just so excited for this to be launched, and I really hope, I really hope that people like everything and want to make orders. I actually can't describe how happy it would make me to see other people wearing Blossom. Like, oh, I'm just so excited now. I will do more videos closer to the launch. My next video is going to be a Portugal vlog. I'm going to visit my friend Joanna again, and I know I've done a couple of Portugal vlogs before, but I'm excited for this time. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you love Blossom as much as I do, and I'm so excited for it to launch and for you all to see it. Right, I love you all. Bye!